call Halalim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the brothers who pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity. Shalom. So as you can see on the screen here, we're going to go into the subject of food shortages that's happening around the United States of America. Okay. And this was put out there January 27th, the year 2023, around 3:31 p.m. Because it's just not, this is a list of about 13 foods that they saying they have a food shortages on. And it's not at an all-time high at the moment, but it will be. Okay. Like the scripture says in the Bible, there's definitely going to be famine. Okay. And the famine is happening right before our eyes. So let me just get right into it. I read a little of this article and go into the foods that they have so-called shortage on. The 13 food shortages to expect in 2023. All right. The United States in the 21st century is a place of abundance. Right there, scripture came to mind, but I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to bring it out later on. We come to expect almost every possible item, including food and especially staple items, to be available at every corner market, supermarket, and warehouse store virtually any day of the year and often at any time of day. Exactly. America, the United States, they have access to almost anything you want. From the head on your head all the way down to the shoes. They have jewelry, access to jewelry, okay, cars, shoes, you name it. And you can get it at your front door, just like that. That's why it says virtually any day of the year and often at any time of the day. That's all thanks to a robust and intricate supply chain that ensures products are available almost always without interruption. And while that system is pretty reliable for the most part, sometimes real-life events create disruptions and wreak havoc on the food supply with the effects rippling out of years afterward. And we all know that's not, we know basically it's not weather problems and diseases and labor shortages. We know who's doing it. Yahweh Shai is doing it. Okay. Reading on, and it reads, so far in the 2020s, farmers, food processors, supplies, grocery stores have been affected by weather problems, diseases, and labor shortages, or even all three factors and then some, which contributed to surprisingly empty store shelves at times, the lasting consequences of plant illness, animal disease, drought, climate change, and the sea hip. Pandemic, I have to say that because I don't want to get a strike on my page. They already gave me a warning. So we have to be careful about what we say. All but ensure shortages of some important food items in the coming years. Read on to discover some of the things experts say may be hard to come by in 2023. So, saying they have a food shortage on beef. They have a food shortage on lettuce, which that's crazy. Beer, who cares? Champagne. Oranges. Cooking oil. Butter, corn, which I love corn, eggs, and they was talking about how what the third largest egg farm was burnt down. Like, I'm pretty sure they planned that as well, these wicked elite people, because in actuality, these wicked elite people, which we all know who they are, that run the world. You can look it up on Google if you don't know. It's at your fingertips. Who also runs the Illuminati, is doing these things, man. If you're not in the known, then you might be blinded by Yahweh, who is God. All right, tomatoes, bread, olive oil, and infant formula. Now I have about to be a 6-month-old, about to be 7 months on 14th. Okay, and that is very important to us to feed, newborn. But in all, just going to keep the faith in Yahweh Shai to bring us through this. Okay, I'm gonna bring out a scripture on that as well. So I'm gonna get a scripture here and see here in Revelations, because this is going to let us know that this is the modern day Babylon. All right, Revelations, we're going to start at the 18th chapter, 11 verse. Let's start at 10. Standing afar off, and it reads, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And they talked about the torment of those ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, that's going to hit this place and shatter everything to a dust. Okay, and the 11th verse, and it reads, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Right, so the people, which is the merchants who bring goods and jewelry and food here, is going to be, weeping, going to be crying about basically losing out of doing business with America, losing out on money. All right. 12th verse, the merchandise of gold and silver, precious stones, and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all dyeing wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, of brass, and iron, and marble. Salakia for that. That's my daughter on her VR. 13th verse, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. Now, all these things America has, America can have access to. But like the scripture says, in 1 hour, all these things is going to be done away with. And let's just go into that word dainty, so we can get an understanding of what dainty means, which I believe it means elegant, expensive. The word is leparos. The Greek word leparos says grease, fat, that is figuratively sumptuous, dainty. I think sumptuous, that's what sumptuous means, expensive, or elegant. Things which pertain to a sumptuous and delicate style of living. All right. And the United States of America live delicately. They have all these things at their fingertips, especially with the people of the world of America that's rich. That's rich in, money and rich in land and, of those sort of things. like your actors, your rappers, you know, or your sport players. All these people have dainty things, dainty food, jewelry all across their necks, all on their fingers, rings all on their fingers with diamonds and gold. But in 1 hour, like the scripture says, it's going to be done away with. I'm not going to have all those things. And actually, in all, the 12 tribes of Israel, the elect, is going to take it. And that's why the scripture says the saints are going to take the kingdom. We're going to take all that. Okay? So, yeah, man. We have to be, let me get another scripture. We have to be mindful of these things. That's why the scripture says, Son of man, I have made you watchmen. We have to watch these things to see what's going on. Isaiah 65:13. Because the Most High going to take care of us. Yahweh Yahushua. We got to have faith in them. Isaiah 65th chapter 13th verse, and it reads, Therefore thus saith the Lord power, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Actually, let's start at 11. But 11 verse, and it reads, But ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. He's talking about the Israelites, who he had watchmen set up to warn them, but they didn't listen. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And with that being said, Lord willing, till next time, shalom.